Give all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles for the edification and knowledge. The Wadi Bashim Yahushua for putting in the spirit of elders and apostles so we can be edified through this truth and knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Call Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Rakakadash. Give all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Rakakadash. Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers' missiles, in the place of the drawing waters, the land of captivity, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his village in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates. So they're rehearsing the righteous acts. That's what they're starting with the elders and apostles down, preaching his truth and knowledge, and working to the best of their abilities to do the rehearsing the righteous acts, man. During their captivity, they begin to remember themselves. How they remember themselves is beginning to follow the righteous acts to the best of their abilities, man. That's in Baruch 2nd chapter, in the latter part of the verses, man. Let's go to Matthew 10 and 31. Shalakia. Hebrews 10 and 31. Hebrews 10 and 31. Hebrews 10 and 31. It's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power. And it is a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power, man. Especially all the judgment that's being seen across all the world, man. The Lord is beginning to visit the world which he has made. 2nd Ezra 9 and 2. So you see in judgment being set forth different types of calamities, different types of things. Read it. 10:31. It is a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living God, man. So you see, like I said, the judgment is being set forth, and you seeing a lot of things happening there because the Lord is beginning to visit, man. The world is made. 2nd Ezra 8 and 50. For many great miseries shall be done in the latter times because of what? Of great pride, man. So you seeing different miseries, different calamities being set forth, man. So the Lord is setting forth and measure thy time diligently in itself, man. So how you measure is by using the scriptures and also using the scriptures to measure regarding what's going on in society, especially regarding prophecy. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 7. 2nd Ezra Apocrypha. We're going to the Apocrypha. 2nd Ezra 7 and 20. And 21, I'm going to read 2nd Ezra 7, 20 and 21. For there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of Yahweh that is set before them. So many are going to perish, man. More are going to perish than be saved. Let the unfaithful die in their unfaithfulness. They must know it by death, by pain. And a wave is greater than a drop, man. So a greater portion, a percentile or ratio of people are more going to perish than be saved. And that remnant is only that small amount, starting with the elect. And the majority of people are going to perish, man, because of what? They despise this word, this truth and knowledge, man. Especially 2/3 of our people, man. And these other nations as well, man. For there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of Yahweh that is set before them. For Yahweh hath given straight commandments to such as came what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. So these laws are set for the nation of Israel, the Lord's chosen people, man. Deuteronomy 7 and 6, Deuteronomy 14 and 2, that peculiar special people that the Lord chose among all these other nations, man. They're the ones that these straight commandments, these pretty much straight and commandments that are set for the nation of Israel, man. That's who they're made for, man. The Lord's chosen people that He chose for these commandments, man. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 2:1. To give an example, Deuteronomy 28. If you observe and do accordingly, then only prosperity and no harm will come to thee. But it's 15 through 68. But if you don't observe and do accordingly, then only things will come to your harm, man. Things are going to come to you as harm, man. So that's pretty much 15 through 68, the consequences of not observing and doing accordingly, man. And for example, the curses, Deuteronomy 28. So because the nation of Israel didn't observe and do accordingly, they are made to be in the state and condition all the way to now, currently, man. All right, 2:1. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I brought this people out of bondage and gave them my commandments, which are the nation of Israel, by my servants the prophets, whom they would not hear, but despised my counsel. And this counsel is the prophets, man, because through the prophets, through the Spirit Yahweh through the prophets, which are the Lord's mouthpiece, to tell the nation of Israel to come back and observe and do accordingly, they despised it, man. So the Lord had to punish them, man. Severely punish them. Okay. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, 1 and still in the Apocrypha. Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 1 and 8. Therefore, he that speaketh unrighteousness things cannot be hid. So the wicked, it cannot be hid. And neither shall the vengeance when it is punished, when it punisheth pass by him. Number 9, for the inquisition shall be made into the counsel of the ungodly, which are the wicked. The inquisition is pretty much that questioning, inquiring, relating to the wicked. Let's look up that word inquisition. Definitions. Inquisition, a prolonged or intensive questioning or investigation. So the wicked is going to be investigated intensively, man, for their wicked deeds, man, by Yahweh Bashim Yoshua, man. Inclined to seek knowledge by discussion, investigation, observing, to research. Formal Roman Catholic tribunal for discovery and punishment of heresy. Heresy is pretty much anything going against the doctrine relating to in that time the Roman. So if you go against that, that's a form of heresy, and that's punishable pretty much by death, man. That's the Inquisition when they killed the Jews, man, because they was related to if they were going contrary to the Roman order, man, back then. Let's go to read number 9 in. For the inquisition shall be made into the counsel of the wicked, of the ungodly, which is the wicked, and the sound of his words shall come into the Lord for the manifestation of his wicked deeds. And 4, let's go to 1:4. For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter. So a malicious soul, a wicked soul, the spirit of knowledge, Yahweh Shem Yashah, is not going to enter. Nor dwell in the body that is subject to sin, which is this flesh, man. Let's continue on to Ecclesiastes 23 and 19. Ecclesiasticus for Sirach 23 and 19. Sirach 23 and 19. Sirach 23 and 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So the Lord's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So the wicked, the righteous, or your deeds, or whatever the case might be, you're not going to be able to hide from the Lord Yahweh Shem Yashah, because he has eyes that watch constantly on earth, both on the good and the evil. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. So the things that you think is secret and hidden, the Lord sees right through that, man. The counsels of the wicked in dark and secret places, they're satanic and darkened places. The Lord sees all that, man. There's nothing that's nothing that's secret, that's not hidden from the Yahweh Shem Yashah, man. Let's go to Second Ezra's 9. Second Ezra's 9. Second Ezra's 9 and 9 continuation. Then shall they be in a pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. So that relates to despising and abusing, relating to doing accordingly to these commandments and statute laws, Yahweh Shem Yashah, man. They despise the counsel relating to the prophets. Prophesied, start with the elect, start with the head apostles on down, who've been prophesying and preaching this truth and word. They despise the counsels of that. So they're going to be in a pitiful case, in torments, man, when pretty much the stuff hits the fan, man. Number 10. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. So they receive benefits. Ultimately, go with Ecclesiasticus 11 and 14. Let me go to that real quick. (11 and 14). Prosperity, adversity, life, death, poverty, riches come to the Lord. So those riches, they be benefits. They come from the Lord, ultimately. But majority of people despise and not give homage to Yahweh Shem Yashah for those benefits, man. We'll read that again. Prosperity, the goodness, adversity, the hardship, life, abundance, death, poverty, destitute, stricken, riches, whether material things or other riches, all come from the Lord, man. And that's all equal balance. The good, the bad, and everything else in between come from the Lord, man. Number 11. And they that have loathed my law while they had yet a liberty, because that liberty and grace period is still open, but they had loathed the law, man. And that relates to specifically the nation of Israel, man. They have loathed the law. Majority of people have loathed that law, man, because they trust in the ways of Caesar in Egypt, man, more than Yahweh Shem Yashah, the ways of the laws of Yahweh Shem Yashah. Let's read that again. And they have loathed my law while they yet had they had yet liberty, and when at a place of repentance was open, was still open, that grace period still open, that door, that window still open, but it's slowly closing. was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. So they despised it, man. Yeah, 2 Peter 3 and 4 talking about during a latter time, in the end times you'll have scoffers and mockers after their own lust, saying, where's the promise of his coming? I guess the fathers have fallen asleep. Things continue as normal. So they despised it, man. Number 12. The same must know it after death by pains. That's going to be the consequence for them despising, not hearkening heed to it. 13. And therefore, be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished. So don't worry about how the ungodly or the wicked going to be punished. But inquire, investigate, research how the righteous shall be saved. Whose the world is and whom the world is created, because the world was created for the righteous sake from the beginning, man. But to have balance in the equation, the wicked have to have their time to rule, man. And the Israelites had to humbly experience being at a very destitute and low state, man, so they can appreciate when they're lifted up in righteousness. They have a better appreciation because they knew what it is to be on the dark side, in a matter of speaking. So therefore, be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, who the world is and whom the world is created. Let's go to Proverbs 13 and 21. Proverbs 13 and 21. Evil pursueth sinners. Evil pursueth sinners, man. Follows them, hunts them down like a hawk, man. But to the righteous good shall be repaid, man. So the righteous good shall be repaid. Inheritance and good things will come to the righteous, man. But to the wicked and ungodly, the evil is going to pursue them, and that evil relates to that judgment that's going to follow them and take them out. That was 13 and 21 of Proverbs. Let's go to 1 James 1 and 22. First James 1 and 22. First James. This is 1 James 1 and 22. For if any be hearers of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face into the looking glass. Shalaki, let me read number 21, Shalaki. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul through this truth and knowledge. But be ye doer of the word, and not hearers only. And that's what it is. They hearers only, man. They hear it, but they're not listening to the word. It's like a sound. They hear the sound, but they're not really listening to it, man. So they speak. They say fair with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Scripture. Number 23. But if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in the glass. So you can't be just a doer. You can't be just a hearer of the word. You gotta be a doer. And the works is actually harder than the lip service, because the works require effort, man, which a lot of people don't want to do because Romans 12:1, let's go to that real quick. Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that you present your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. So your reasonable service is try to sacrifice and be that sacrifice, a physical sacrifice. How you do it, preaching this word, man, ultimately. So you have to make yourself a living sacrifice. You know what I mean? So you just can't be just a hearer of the word, but a doer of it as well. And that's the balance of it, man, doing it. So the works is part of being that sacrifice, and that's his reasonable service, man. That's your reasonable service. Especially if the Spirit is on you to do it, man. Not everybody has different offices, different talents, different diversities. But the point is, not just be a hearer, but be a hearer of the word, but doer. Doer through the works, wherever your lot of calling or what you're good at as far as the ministry. You know? But as they say, do something, you know. This was something short. This is Brother Zayab here. Brother Zayab, which means wolf. This is something short, a few verses and scriptures. And I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yoshua Bashem Rakakadash. I hope whoever listens, it helps in some way. And the water for listening. Shalom. Thanks.